Welcome to my channel. Please like and subscribe and you'll be notified on my next broadcast video. I know it's been a while since I've been posting a video, but let's talk about a subject that been played out a lot of times, and I know a lot of people kind of got fear on it, and I'm probably going to respond to one of the users from my last video. I should be more consistent on these videos. But let's talk about the issue with artificial intelligence and the automation of artificial intelligence. What is the plus side? What is the negative side? What is the end result? So a lot of people have their fears about being replaced by artificial intelligence. Even I had to admit it that fear is pretty much real, because I pretty much feel like that this situation is real, and it affected a lot of people's jobs, and a lot of people are very concerned and the impact of it. So let's do to the artificial intelligence, because it would bring lower costs to a significant business cost savings. Many people are pretty much concerned the potential impact of this type of technology and hope that new jobs be emerged with an event of artificial intelligence. However, many people beginning to recognize the problem, and the bigger problem is the future doesn't look too bright. The way that companies are implementing AI, and they're replacing workers, and some workers are difficultly unable to find jobs. And this is the most concerning, because I know that most college students who graduated with their bachelor's degrees and master's degrees and PhDs are finding very difficult to find these jobs. I mean, these are blue collar, white collar jobs, and mostly blue collar jobs. And the other part is paralegal. And I mean, imagine you going to school, 4 years of college, graduated. Hopefully you'll find a job to pay your interest, your high payment loans, and I'm not even going in details how many loans that a lot of these graduates have to pay back, and they have to pay back. Imagine a software engineer can't find a job, a paralegal cannot find a job. These are the type of people that you need to accumulate it, get a job first, accumulate the knowledge, and become experienced later on in life and become more successful in life. And all these companies doing is like, hey, we would offer you an artificial intelligence to do the same thing at a much more lesser cost, and you pretty much are impacting the skill set of development of those college grads. Yes, you are these companies are technically committed suicide of killing the skill set, because I know for a fact that not all jobs are completely replaced with AI. I know that some jobs are fulfilled with some level of engineers that will have some high level skill set, very dedicated to their job, and make sure the task is complete. And I believe that not all legal firms are replacing with all AI, because they got to have some human factor within these type of jobs, and I will tell you more about it. But the major roles of this, because it does affect everything. I mean, AI is a wonderful tool, wonderful application to make the job easier, but the problem is the companies are replacing workers with AI. I mean, I'm not going to it's from Amazon, Microsoft. It's just a wide range of applications. I mean, from software development, software engineering, customer support, package delivery, and it just get beyond. And now these companies look for the bottom line because they want to save money or diversify some jobs, either outsource them to other countries to save money, which is also become a problematic as well. Now, like let's talk about the plus side of it. Yes, the companies will save more money. They will get their bang for the buck. They will generate more revenues because they're not paying as many people as they had before. Same thing with Amazon. They got rid of majority of their workers working in the warehouse, and they use mostly robotics to ship the goods to the distribution. And most of the time, the distribution is operated by robots or some human that's still employed by Amazon warehouses, still utilizing their shipping package. But for the picking up the items from the warehouse, it's mostly all robot. Save cost, save human factor, same health. So it's not repetitive. Now I know that Amazon is quote testing for a robot to deliver to their house. That is equivalent of an iRobot scenario. Yeah. Now for the AI software, now for the artificial intelligence for software. You know that a lot of tools out there using VO for Google. There's a lot of them out there. There's a lot out there. It's a total flood. It's a total saturation of it because there's so many AI tools to choose from. Some of them work with your work productivity. I know Microsoft is pushing their AI tools for Office. I know a lot of companies is out there is pushing, and sometimes the tools are good, and sometimes the tools are not that great, and sometimes the tools are even better. It depends on your taste and how it works for you, and how you could make it work better. And there's some applications, believe it or not, that would do customer service, answer your calls, route it to the right source, and get your job done as quickly as possible. And there's others that could do your troubleshooting, like first call resolution for your IT work and so forth. And for those companies that implemented these AI because they're looking for cost savings, they're looking for productivity, revenue generation, and they will save money and then look their portfolio to say, hey, we generate so much money. We got rid of these amount of workers, but we generated the same amount of money with this AI with few workers, and that profit margin is looking great. And it is across the board, and that is the end game of it, because most of these companies are looking to replace the majority of their operation with artificial intelligence. May not be 100%, but a majority will be replaced with artificial intelligence for the increase their profit margin and to look good on the stock change with the investors. Now, with AI, everything with AI look good on paper and on test demonstration and knowledge research on for testing and make sure they interact real well. It doesn't mean it always implementing the product 100% because there's no such thing as perfection. It is the best it can do. For example, if a customer put a ticket in, for customer service, a request for a certain, like to say a certain product or certain services, they may not explain the request very well, and sometimes the AI don't know how to decipher it. Some AI may even be able to decipher it, to understand what the customer is talking about, and there's some part that the AI will never understand it. And when it doesn't understand it, the AI don't know what to do with it. It probably just sit in their queue or their request queue terminal, until a human agent had to take a look and read what it says. If they can't understand it, they might have to call the customer back and explain them what you're talking about. And some of them could go by email without going to a portal, or they could go to a portal and they're not explaining the details of it, because AI does not resolve all issues. I mean, this it's just the way it is. So, like, once again, it doesn't. I mean, on paper, it looks like it does the work, but in reality, it doesn't always work. And for those companies, employers or management let go their engineers, software engineers, and try to help AI to implement some of the software, and some of them does not get the application right, and the engineers they do have, they had to work overtime to try to correct it. They may have to bring back some of the engineers that they let go to hire, and some of them will take the job, they take their salary back like they were, and some might ask for more money, because like you can't put everything in one basket, because AI is always not going to be perfect, because there's no such thing as perfection. It's not going to be experienced enough to understand, decipher, and how to operate it, because all AI does is gather information from others and gather using data from others who inputted that code or whatever information in AI. And I believe, for the case in point, while Microsoft let go their engineer, is it probably imagine that they want to do some cuts and they probably micromanage some of these engineers to put every single details of troubleshooting steps, or how they input in codes, or how they implemented codes, how they tested it, everything. And that's how they let them go. And most of these engineers, for them, I believe the smartest thing for them to do is start a consultant job. And because, like, hey, I got this AI knowledge, I know what they try to implement it. They might need a outside tester to test to make sure the integrity of the software is sound and is safe for use. Because there's been some scenarios that AI did not follow certain protocols, or they did a test on it and they see how some AI is. Actually, I know that AI is not always safe to use, because there's been some situation that is going back for many years. When they're testing these applications before they go out to the wild, they will see how it perform, and sometimes they get these software in these situations that they want to self-preserve themselves, which it kind of frightened a lot of people, and it's kind of surprised the engineers and tried to manipulate it, send a backup code within itself, and which, as a result of it, they had to put in protocols like watch I think Isaac Asimov of the iRobot, of the robot rules or the AI rules, some sort of ethical rules and empathy rules that they may have to implement it to prevent these softwares to go where they do. But anyway, this is my idea of how this thing's going to happen, because it's going to affect a lot of people. Because when these people let go from their jobs, imagine that they try to find another job and there's not as many jobs out there. I mean, they had to go to multiple interviews, callbacks, follow up, and sometimes they're successful and sometimes they're not. If they are successful, they had to take wherever job offer they had to get, because they got to pay bills. Some think they worth more what they had from their last salary, but some word of advice: you got to take whatever job offered to you, even though is you feel like it's a lowball situation. I mean, sometimes you have to bite the bullet because these bills had to be paid. And I mean, it's just sad though, but that's the way it is because you have to look at yourself, and sometimes some people have to retool themselves to become another profession like plumbing, electrical engineers, do mechanical engineering, like for electronics. They could add the software and the hardware together that work for like companies that do mostly hardware. They need hardware specialists to program. I mean, that's might have to go to that route. I mean, there's other jobs out there, but you probably had to reset your learning skill set to learn the new skills to compensate from your learning from the software engineer to more hardware part of it, because the hardware is always going to be available for human use, human design, and human implementation on the product. But the software end, there was a big business during the time, and I thought everybody's going to be that business for 20 to 30 to 50 years, and it was not the case because it's a blue collar job. But there are always a lot of white collar jobs out there for IT technician, engineering services, security, cybersecurity services, electrical engineering, mechanical engineering, electronics. There's a lot of application on it in automotive that deal with all these parameters, all these skill sets. I mean, it really all these skill sets are available out there. It's just that you got to diversify your skill set, and hopefully they will find something, because it's going to be a dark future. We don't know the outcome of it, but I believe that when these companies let go, it takes effect. I mean, it affect the person that they can't keep their home, they got to sell it or lose in foreclosure. That's the horrible thing to do. Then the tax revenue from, then it takes a dramatic effect, like a chain reaction. That means the home that person had to give it up. They might go to an apartment. That means no tax revenue on the property taxes for the home they once had. They might have to sell their vehicles. That's another situation of insurance. If they're still making a car note, it's going to be a mess. And also, if they believe it or not, go to certain stores or buy products, that will take an effect on the economy. Everything is a chain reaction, because once you let go of these people, it's a chain reaction from where you live at, how you purchase your food, and where you're going, and all these other activities does take an effect of it. And some of these companies, they don't realize it because they think about money, they're not thinking about the long-term consequences. Also, a lot of companies letting go other people, thousands and thousands of people. It would take an effect, because also it would affect their bottom line. So basically, what these companies are doing, they kind of slowing or staggering the economy mechanism. I mean, they are really staggering it, and they're looking at their bottom line, but it's their profit margin. They projected to be big, may shrink in a significant way they didn't expect it. But I might be saying it too early, but who knows the future going to hold. It may stall the economy in a certain degree, because a lot of people might have money, but the money will run out with unemployment or unable to find jobs. It's going to stagger. It's going to stagger to a point that the city, the state, government might have to do something, and it will affect the overall economy of it. But anyway, this is my video of it, and hopefully I will see you next time, and hopefully I will continue on making these videos. Thanks.